You owe 470 million won. You owe it to men who express disappointment with box cutters. Your mother needs surgery. Your daughter's birthday is coming, and you've already promised her something you can't afford, which is everything. You stand in a subway station in Seoul staring at a tile floor that smells like bleach and regret, and a man in a suit approaches you. He's handsome. Too handsome for this. He holds up two paper tiles, Dokji, the folding game you played as a kid, and offers you a bet. Win, and he gives you 100,000 won. Lose, and he slaps you across the face. Those are the terms. Clean, simple, almost funny. You lose. He hits you, you lose again. He hits you again. Your cheek burns and the commuters walk past and nobody stops because a man getting slapped in a subway station in South Korea at 11 p.m. is not their problem. You keep playing. You keep losing. You keep getting hit. And then finally, your tile flips his. He smiles, hands you the cash, then hands you something else. A business card, cream-colored. On it, a circle, a triangle, a square. A phone number. He knows your name. He knows how much you owe. He knows about the surgery, the daughter, the men with the box cutters. He tells you there's a game, a real one. The prize is 45.6 billion won. You take the card home. You stare at it under a kitchen light that flickers because you haven't paid the electric bill in 3 months. You call the number, and that's how 456 people end up on a bus with blacked out windows, breathing gas, waking up on an island that doesn't exist on any map. You open your eyes in a room the size of an aircraft hangar, bunk beds stacked in tiers, arranged like a warehouse shelf system, climbing toward a ceiling you can barely see. Every person in the room wears the same thing, a green tracksuit, white sneakers, a number pinned to their chest. Yours is 3 digits long. It could be anything. You are not a person here. You're a variable. There are 455 other variables. Seong Gi-hun is player 456, a divorced father, a gambling addict, a man who stole from his own mother. Cho Sang-woo is player 218, a Seoul National University graduate who embezzled client funds and has an active warrant. Kang Se-byok is player 067, a North Korean defector who crossed the border as a child and needs money to get her brother out of an orphanage and her mother out of the North. And then there's player 001, an old man, friendly. He says his name is Oh Il-nam, and he has a brain tumor and nothing left to lose. Remember him. A voice over a loudspeaker reads you 3 rules. 1. Players may not stop playing. 2. Players who refuse to play will be eliminated. 3. Games may be terminated by a majority vote. You sign a consent form. You don't read the fine print. Nobody ever does. The first game is red light, green light. You walk into a field the length of a football pitch. At the far end, a giant mechanical doll with pigtails and a motion sensor for a face. When she sings, you move. When she stops, you freeze. If you move after she stops, a sniper bullet enters your skull. 255 people figure this out the wrong way. In under 5 minutes, the field looks like a parking lot after an earthquake. Bodies stacked on bodies, blood pooling into the artificial grass. And above, a piggy bank, transparent, enormous, hanging from the ceiling. It fills with cash. 100 million, one per corpse. The math is clean and horrible. You survive, you vote. A slim majority, now on one vote, literally one vote, decides to end the games. They blindfold you, gas you, dump you back in the real world. And here's the part that proves everything the game's creators believe about you. You go back. You voluntarily return. Because out here in the world with the box cutters and the debt and the surgery your mother will die without, the rules are worse. At least in there, everybody starts equal. Same green tracksuit, same white shoes, same odds. That's the lie anyway. The second game is Dalgona, a sugar honeycomb cookie with a shape stamped into it. Circle, triangle, star, umbrella. You get a needle. You have 10 minutes to carve the shape out without cracking the cookie. Crack it and you die. 79 people crack it. The trick, if you can call it that, is to lick the back of the cookie. Saliva softens the sugar. Gi-hun figures this out by accident. Sang-woo figures it out because Sang-woo is the kind of person who always knows the trick and never tells you. Then tug of war. Teams of 10. You stand on a platform 30 meters in the air and pull a rope. The team that loses gets dragged off the edge. 40 people fall. The sound they make on the way down is not what you'd expect. It's short, then marbles. They tell you to pick a partner, someone you trust, someone you like. Then they tell you to play against them. Winner takes all the marbles. Loser gets shot. This is the game that breaks people, not the violence, the intimacy. You have to betray someone who looked you in the eyes and called you friend. 23 people lose their partners. Oh, Ilnam, the old man, player 001, he loses to Gi-hun. Seems to wander off into the sunset of his dementia, and a gunshot echoes behind a wall. Seems to. The glass bridge. 18 players. 18 pairs of glass panels stretching across a chasm. One panel is tempered glass, holds your weight. The other is regular glass, shatters like a promise. You can't tell the difference by looking. You pick a number. Low numbers go first. Low numbers die first. 13 people fall through. The sound of glass breaking above a void is almost beautiful if you don't think about what follows it. 3 people make it to the final game. Gi-hun, Sang-woo, and Se-byok, who's bleeding from glass shards embedded in her torso and can barely stand. Sang-woo fixes that problem with a knife to her neck while she sleeps. The Squid Game, the real one. The one they named the whole operation after. A shape drawn in dirt. An attacker and a defender. Gi-hun wins. Sang-woo, cornered and beaten, drives a knife into his own throat rather than let someone else decide when he dies. One final act of control in a place designed to strip it all away. Gi-hun walks out with 45.6 billion won. That's roughly 38 million US dollars. He doesn't spend it. Not for a year. He lets it sit in a bank account while he sleeps on the floor and lets his hair grow and doesn't eat much. Because money won from a machine that grinds people into currency doesn't spend the same. But you're not done, because the game is bigger than the players. Behind every player, there's a guard. You wear a pink jumpsuit, fuchsia actually, chosen specifically because it sits opposite green on the color wheel and because blood shows differently on pink than on white. Your face is hidden behind a black mask with a shape on it. That shape is your rank. Circle means you're a worker. You carry bodies, you mop floors, you serve rice, you don't speak unless spoken to. You are the janitor of a slaughterhouse. Triangle means you're a soldier, you carry a gun, you shoot the people who lose, you stand at attention while 255 bodies drop in a field and you don't flinch, because flinching gets you killed, too. The rules apply to you the same as they apply to them. You are not exempt. You are not special. You're just on the other side of the gun. Square means you're a manager. You monitor cameras. You relay orders. You report directly to the front man. You have the smallest amount of power that still feels like power, which makes you the most dangerous person in the room. And underneath all of this, some of you are running a side business, an organ harvesting ring. A disgraced doctor, player 111 Byung-gi, cuts kidneys and livers out of dead contestants in exchange for hints about upcoming games. Corrupt triangle guards smuggle the organs in backpacks through underground tunnels to boats waiting at the shoreline. It's capitalism inside capitalism. A black market inside a black market, the front man finds out. He doesn't object to the harvesting. He objects to the inequality. The doctor getting inside information violates the principle that all players compete on equal terms. So he executes the doctor and the guards involved, not for murder, for cheating. The front man, his name is Hwang In-ho. He was a cop once, a good one, apparently. Good enough to donate a kidney to save his half-brother Junho's life. Then his wife got sick, terminal. The medical bills ate everything. He got fired for bribery. And in 2015, desperate and hollowed out, he entered the 28th Squid Game as player 132. He won. His wife died anyway. And something broke in him that never set right. He looked at the machine that had chewed him up and spit him out rich and thought, this makes sense. The world outside is the same game with worse lighting. So he stayed, rose through the ranks, put on the black mask with no shape at all, because the frontman exists above the hierarchy. He became the operational manager of organized murder. He runs the island, enforces the rules, ensures the games are fair in the way that a coin toss is fair when both sides are a bullet. His brother Junho, still a detective, still looking for him, infiltrates the island disguised as a worker, steals a dead guard's uniform, creeps through corridors, snaps photos, discovers the games have been running for decades, since 1988. 33 iterations of this. Hundreds of winners, thousands of dead. When the brothers finally face each other, Inho puts a bullet in Junho and watches him fall off a cliff into the ocean. Junho survives, but the man who saved his life with a kidney tried to end it with a 9mm. That's the geometry of this place, but the front man answers to someone. Oh, Ilnam, player 001, the old man with the brain tumor who you thought died in the marble game. He didn't. The gun behind the wall fired a blank. Because you can't kill the man who built the game. Ilnam is a financial tycoon who got so rich that money stopped meaning anything. He describes it like this: people with nothing and people with everything suffer the same disease. Life stops being fun. So he built a playground, a place where the stakes are real, where the adrenaline is genuine, where he could watch human beings make choices that actually mattered, because the wrong choice meant death. He modeled the games after the children's games he played growing up in Korea. Red light, green light, marbles, the Squid Game drawn in schoolyard dirt, because there's something obscene about dying inside a memory of innocence. He participated in the 33rd game himself, not because he needed the money, but because the tumor was going to kill him anyway, and he wanted to feel something before it did. He paired with Gi-hun during marbles, called him Ganbu, an old Korean word for a friend so close you share everything. Then he let Gi-hun win because even the architect of hell gets to choose how he leaves it. A year later, dying in a hospital bed overlooking Seoul, Ilnam invites Gi-hun back for one final game. They watch a homeless man lying in the snow on the street below. Ilnam bets nobody will help him before midnight. Gi-hun bets someone will. They watch. The minutes crawl. The snow falls. And just before midnight, someone stops. Someone helps. Gi-hun wins the bet. Ilnam dies before he sees it. He goes out believing he was right about people he wasn't. But the machine he built doesn't care about that because the machine keeps running without him. Now go higher, past the front man, past the old man who dreamed this into existence, up to the observation deck where the leather chairs are and the drinks are cold and the masks are gold, the VIPs. You don't know their real names. Nobody does. They're international, American, Chinese, European, and they are so wealthy that the $45.6 billion one prize pool is a rounding error in their portfolios. They fly to the island on private jets. They wear gilded animal masks, a deer, a tiger, an eagle, a bear, because anonymity is the one luxury that still excites them. They lounge in a viewing room decorated like a Roman emperor's fever dream, and they watch the games on screens, and they bet. They bet in a private cryptocurrency called Bloodcoin, because even atrocity needs a blockchain now. They bet on people, on who will crack first, who will betray their partner, who will step on the wrong glass panel. They shout at screens the way you shout at a horse race, except the horses are human beings in green tracksuits, and the track is a bridge made of glass that might or might not hold your weight. They drink, they laugh, they occasionally proposition the staff. For them, this is a Tuesday, and in the later games, the ones Gi-hun comes back for in 2024, when he returns not to win, but to burn the whole thing down. The VIPs get bolder. They don't just watch. Some of them put on pink jumpsuits and pick up guns and walk onto the field themselves. They hunt players because watching stopped being enough. Because the distance between the screen and the killing floor was the last barrier, and they crossed it the way wealth crosses every barrier, casually, without consequence. Gi-hun's rebellion fails, by the way. He comes back with a plan, infiltrates the games as a player again, builds alliances, organizes an uprising. They seize weapons. They storm the dormitory, and the frontman, who has been hiding among the players the entire time disguised as a man named Oh Young-il, dismantles it from the inside. He kills Gi-hun's closest friend, Young-bae, execution style, right in front of him. The rebellion dies in a hallway, and Gi-hun is left kneeling in the wreckage of his own plan, learning the lesson the organization has been teaching since 1988. You cannot beat a system by playing inside it. 456 people enter. One walks out with the money. 100 million. One per death. The math always balances. The piggy bank always fills. And next year, a man in a nice suit will stand in a subway station and offer someone a game of dokji, and the whole thing starts again. The real game was never about the money. The money is just the bait, the number on the card, the thing that gets you on the bus. The real game was a bet. The oldest bet. The one Oh Il-nam made on his deathbed, and the VIPs make every season from behind their golden masks, that human beings, given the choice between solidarity and survival, will choose survival. That when the doll stops singing and the glass might break and the rope is slipping and your partner is standing across from you with marbles in their hands, you will do whatever it takes. That you will destroy each other. Every time. Without fail. And the worst part, the part that keeps the machine running, the part that makes the pink suits wash the blood off the floors and the green suits line up for the next game and the gold masks pour another drink, is that so far they've been right.